9 miles south of Calvert is the city of Hearne, which also has a rich history and deeply tied to the railroad. But before we get into that, let's dive into their origins first. So the Texas State Historical Association says that the land would become Hearne was originally granted to Francisco Ruiz in 1830s. And in the 1840s, there was a tavern and a stage stop in the area. Things would begin to develop when the Hearne family moved to the area in the early 1850s. And the Hearnes operated a plantation, and Christopher C. Hearne sought to construct a railroad through the city. He offered the railroad right-of-way and townsite land. However, before it could be developed, the Civil War broke out, and Hearne's window would later deed 700 acres to the Houston and Texas Central Railway. The railroad would arrive at the new Hearne Depot in 1868, and this led to a population boom in the area. In 1870, the International Great Northern negotiated a right-of-way across Robertson County, and the lines intersected in Hearne. That and the cotton gins led to Hearne becoming a regional center for cotton marketing. The town would incorporate in 1871, and later during World War II, a camp was built outside Hearne city limits, which housed German POWs. That facility would be closed in 1946, and in 2017, more than 4,500 people called Hearne their home. So as you can tell, the railroad here helped put Hearne on the map, along with a lot of other Central Texas cities.
Yeah, and if you'd like to learn more about the history of that, you can visit the Hearne Depot Museum. In fact, the museum here in Hearne, the Depot Museum, was set up and explores the history of trains in Hearne. In fact, many trains traveled through this town, and it was one of the most important things in the town's development. Without the railroad, not many would have grown up in this area. In fact, many families have grown up here and they never left. With up to 30 trains a day, Hearne has always been a railroad destination. Being centrally located, it was a great connector. Not only does the museum focus on trains, conductors, and railroads, but also what surrounded the profession.
The telegraph, we take that for granted, but that was something that the railroads really got into and really pushed the railroads.
Railroads even helped with creating the basis for standardized time in the nation.
People aren't familiar with, but they were instrumental in the growth of our country and the expansion westward.
Bob Batsey grew up here in Hearne, graduated from Hearne High School, and says you either learn to love the trains or you hate them. Obviously, trains are an important piece of history here in our state and in the nation, and it's very interesting. If you want to come here and learn more about that, you can visit, again, the Hearne Depot Museum.
That's right. Well, now let's head back into studio. Andrea?